Do you remember that black box you got for Christmas? The one you've been using to watch Netflix the past few months. Yep, that's the one. Well, it's time to dust that bad boy off.
She asked me like a Pisces when I am weak.
Second Son is the third installment in Sucker Punch's infamous series, which has been highly popular among PlayStation owners over the past 5 years. Ever since it was officially announced about a year ago, Second Son has become one of the most anticipated games of 2014. But the question on everyone's mind is, does it live up to the hype? Second Son leaves behind the story of the first two games and takes on a whole new adventure. Delson Rowe, our protagonist, is part of a close-knit Native American tribe called the Akomish, which is located just outside Seattle, Washington. He spends his days tagging everything in sight. That is, until he acquires some new tricks. Certain events lead to Delson and his brother Reggie traveling to Seattle in search of a way that they can save their tribe. But it won't be easy.
You do realize when we hit the town, there's a fair chance the town's gonna, hit back?
What does that even mean?
Throughout the game, there are several instances where you are presented two choices. You can either take the honorable path, or you can choose to channel your inner villain. Each choice you make affects the way you play the game. The farther you go down either path, the more your choices will be reflected throughout the game. Delson even looks more villainous the more evil karma you accrue.
Everybody else will die without me. Or have you forgotten that?
Both the evil and the heroic playthroughs have entirely different endings, and I highly suggest playing through both to get the full experience. While the game is pretty intense, there are still plenty of moments to make you laugh.
Fear my powers, world! Bow to my grandeur!
You don't have to bow, honest.
While the story is overall very good, it's still fairly short. You could easily beat the campaign within a day if you push through it, and even beat it 100% over the weekend. While the game really doesn't have any true side missions, it does have several side jobs you can do throughout the city. Each district in the city has the same jobs as the next though, and they can get a little repetitive after a while. If you happen to get the limited edition or the collector's edition, you get access to the bonus DLC Cole's Legacy. This does add a pretty fun side quest to the game, which briefly ties in with the original two Infamous games. Once you finish this mission, you unlock access to Cole's iconic black and yellow leather jacket from the first game. There's another set of bonus missions available to all players regardless of which edition you bought called Paper Trail. These missions tie in gameplay with some detective work you'll have to do on your computer. It's a really cool concept, and I highly recommend trying it out if you've beaten the game and find yourself craving more. While your relationship with some characters like Delson's brother Reggie seem to develop well through the game, your relationship with other characters doesn't reach its full potential. It would be great to see some DLC in the future that expands on those relationships. Overall, Delson is a great protagonist that many people will be able to connect with. When he first acquires his powers, he's scared. But as time goes on and he starts to get the hang of them, he relishes those powers.
And of course, the only downside being that, nope, can't think of anything. This is pretty freaking awesome.
This is why the slogan for the game, Enjoy Your Power, is so fitting. Not only does karma affect the main story, karma affects everything. This includes gameplay. Depending on which route you choose to take, you can unlock entirely different powers that wouldn't be available had you opted to choose the other route. The powers even look different depending on karma. If you have evil karma, your neon or smoke powers will be a much darker red than they would be if you had good karma. I'll admit I expected to see copy and pasted powers between the different power types just with different visuals. This was not the case at all. Each power type has entirely unique powers.
Inside your heart-shaped box.
The combat system in Second Son is very fluid and fairly easy to get the hang of, even for users who aren't familiar to the series. There were only a few annoying bits of the gameplay that are hardly even worth mentioning. Visually, this game is gorgeous. It's one of the best looking games I've seen on a console to date. It runs in 1080p and mostly between 30 to 40 frames per second, although it occasionally reaches around 50 frames per second. While 30 to 40 frames per second may be a little lower than most people had hoped for, do not let this deter you. The city of Seattle that Sucker Punch created for this game looks amazing. You will find yourself walking around, staring at the scenery, and constantly using the share button. But the impressive graphics aren't the only next-gen feature. Being a PS4 exclusive, Second Son was able to utilize many of the exclusive next-gen features the PS4 has to offer. The touchpad is used fairly often for things such as refueling your powers, opening doors, destroying mobile command centers, and several other things. It's good to see that the touchpad is being utilized more and more often and isn't just a gimmick. Another feature used constantly throughout the game is the speaker on the controller. Anytime Delson's phone rings, anytime you refuel your powers, or collect blast shards,
Your magic.
anytime you tag the side of a building, even picking up an enemy's helmet and listening to the radio chatter.
Still working?
Situation team respond. Situation team respond. We've reacquired Daughtry east of your 40. Situation team respond.
Those sounds all play through the speaker on the controller. It all sounds really nice too. I can't tell you how many times Delson's phone rang and I had to check my own phone because it caught me off guard. Some other features are the motion controls, which you use to spray paint the side of buildings, and the light bar on the controller that changes shades of blue or red depending on your karma. Second Son is so chock full of Easter eggs that you almost can't even call them Easter eggs. References to Cole McGrath and Sly Cooper, which is also created by Sucker Punch, are plastered all over the city. If you've played Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, you will recognize Delson's ringtone as a dumbed down version of the theme song from that game. Sucker Punch also got the rights to put several real-life businesses based in Seattle throughout the game to give it a more authentic feel. All in all, my only major gripe is that I wish it would have been longer, but I'm sure that we'll see some great DLC released in the near future to extend the experience. Infamous Second Son is one of the best games I've played in a while, and the first game on PS4 that I felt was worth the full $60. So to answer our original question, does it live up to the hype? The answer is yes. To anyone on the fence about buying this game, I highly recommend you go pick it up. You won't regret it.